Hey there, everyone. This is Lance Schuttler, and I'm back with Coach Cory Bell, and we're going to have a part two conversation, kind of going a little bit further on the conversation of athleticism, nutrition, health, wellness, and just different things that can be done for athletes. Um, Cory, thank you for being here again. In the last episode, we talked about sunlight and grounding and, different things that athletes can do for free to enhance their performance, their recovery, and just, overall optimization for what they're doing for their particular sport. But Cory, could you please just share with us a little bit about who you are and, your background as it relates to sports and coaching and, just everything sort of in that sort of realm?
Sure. I'm Lance, I'm a strength conditioning coach. As you know, I work at West Orange Stark High School in Orange, Texas. I have had stops at Ohio State, Boston College, New Mexico Military Institute, and now here I am in the high school sector. I work with athletes all over the world, mainly in the track and field area. I have worked with a couple of Olympians who were in Tokyo as well. Both of those are my athletes. And so yeah, man, I have my hands a little bit in everything. I've done some work on the tactical side as well, too, working with first responders, working with military. So anything performance, anything strength related, anything optimization related, I've had my hands in it from a coaching standpoint.
That's really awesome. And, you've shared many stories with me, and it's really incredible, already what you've done in your life as it relates to what you just said. So one question in particular, Cory, is, nutrition. Obviously, athletes know how important nutrition is. There's so many different suggestions out there for people. But from your perspective, why is nutrition important for athletes? And why is it something that people should really, spend even more time on in particular?
Yeah. Yeah. I got my first start in nutrition when I was changing my life. I was totally involved with substance abuse and everything like that. The first thing I ever tried from a holistic standpoint was parsley tea. I was trying to clean out my kidneys, trying to optimize my hormones and all that type of stuff, man. So that was the first thing that I did as far as going down this road of holistic nutrition. And holistic nutrition is the thing that a lot of athletes now are not exposed to. And what I mean by that is we got to step away from just your typical macros, your protein, carbohydrates, fats, and all that type of stuff. And we got to start going into more of a holistic viewpoint, like you said, whether that be sunlight, whether that be natural supplements like Ascent Nutrition, whether that be grounding, all that type of stuff. And so our athletes now need more exposure from that because these are the things that have been around for thousands of years, since the beginning of time. I use this analogy a whole lot as an example, but it's the truth. Roman soldiers used to march roughly 20 miles a day. 20 miles a day, okay? Still set up camp, still break down camp at the end of the day or in the morning and do it again all over the next day. And then our athletes now are seeking load management halfway through the season. Like there's some kind of correlation there that's just not right. And so what I try to do and how I go about my nutrition planning and my optimization is just really tapping into what makes our cells tick. What makes, not from a mechanical standpoint, but from a cellular standpoint, from an energy standpoint, that energy matter correlation, right? How do we become more energy through our nutrition and then minimize the matter standpoint? That's where we need to go. That's where nutrition moving forward in the future needs to head to for our athletes, is optimizing it at the lowest level possible, the cellular level, and then the mind, and then everything else will trickle from there. The body has to follow the mind, and our muscles respond from our cells.
Yeah, that's amazing, Cory. And, if you think about food at a fundamental level, it is energy. I mean, it literally will go down to the electron level to where electrons are being given to cells so the mitochondria can use them to power the whole cell and do what needs to be done. So exactly, right. That's really incredible. What are athletes or what are programs more specifically like in the college level? How are they doing in terms of helping their athletes? And, I know that schools have budgets and things like that to be mindful of, but what do programs, where are they at right now? Just in terms of your view in general, are they, on par? Are they below par? Are they above par? Are they doing things, that are really progressive and cutting edge, or still sort of behind the times in some different ways? I mean, I'm sure it's different for every program and the different doctors and, practitioners each team has, but what's the sort of feel like in general for just overall nutrition?
Yeah. So, that's obviously body weight is a huge staple in any performance endeavor. Optimal body weight is what you want, no matter what the sport. And so it's a lot of different ways of how places go about that. I've seen big time programs order McDonald's for their kids. And you gotta keep in mind as well too that a lot of these kids, that's all they know is McDonald's. A lot of students, a lot of student athletes, they come from food deserts where they don't even know what a healthy food is. They can't tell you what a cucumber looks like, and so we got to keep that in mind, that these kids need something in their body because they may not have anything at all from where they're coming from. So that's number one. Number two, though, yes, you do see a lot of just feed the guys whatever, or the ladies, just feed them whatever. A lot of education does go on. I don't want to lie about that. A lot of education does go on, but it's that decision. It's that setting the kids up for success nutritionally. That is the critical aspect to this whole thing. And some schools do it right, and some schools don't. I would say the majority of schools in the nation at least attempt to do it right, but it's a constant fight of breaking bad habits from the athlete and trying to introduce them to new things in their life that's going to benefit them and give them longer careers.
Yeah, that makes sense. Clearly it's got to be a case-by-case basis, and there's just a lot of different factors that have to be taken into account clearly. And so that's really good to hear that, because it does put a good perspective on it for, let's just say if someone, because I've been in this mindset of college programs or, sports programs, they should just overhaul most of what they're doing, and they should just implement all these cool, new, amazing things that we know work. But there's mindsets involved, there's money involved, there's a lot of different things that go into that factor. But this is cool why, we can talk about this stuff and get this information out there regardless of, we won't have a gatekeeper, stopping this information. We can just get this directly out to the athletes to benefit them in particular. So,
yes.
One thing I know, Cory, that you and I share in common amongst many things is our passion for researching and really finding unique foods or supplements or nutrients that really enhance performance, both from, a mind level, a brain level, and then also physically. What got you really interested in digging deep to find, the cool new things out there as it relates to supplements or nutrition?
Yeah, I was that guy, man, that went on Amazon and literally researched for hours what product I wanted to try, what product I wanted to buy, and all that type of stuff. So once I actually met you and did more research on your products and more research on Ascent Nutrition, I found a one-stop shop, to be honest with you. Like I said, I've always been part of the holistic crowd as far as nutrition goes, as far as supplements and all that type of stuff. And that's what I was searching for on Amazon, but I was wasting my money. Now that I have a home base that I go to, it's great. Whether it's the DHA oil, whether it's a pine pollen, whether it's pine needle extract. I mean, everything is a one-stop shop with Ascent Nutrition, and that's why I'm so glad to be affiliated with the company as well too. And that's what I prescribe to my athletes. A lot of supplements, your protein, your this, your that. If your body's not in a optimal state to actually filter all this stuff and maximize what you're putting into your body, then it doesn't matter. And from a holistic standpoint, what that does is it prepares your body to actually use what you're putting in it. You can eat all the protein you want to. You can eat all this and that you want to. It doesn't matter if you're putting junk, if you're putting clean fuel into a junk body, right? If you're putting 93 gasoline into an old diesel truck that you haven't taken care of, because that's what's happening a lot with people, not just athletes, but people in general. And so what these supplements do, and where I found this home base, which I'm so happy I did, is it optimizes that. It turns that diesel truck into a Ferrari, man, and it cleans out that system from a cellular level. And I've always tried to find a way to optimize the body and the mind in a way that nobody else is doing it. And I found that now. I found that.
Thank you, Cory. That's really, really appreciated it. And we're very, very happy. And I'm very, very happy to be working with you and collaborating with you, and just even know you, because like we've talked about, the people that we choose to work with, first and foremost, are great human beings. And, secondly, they're top notch at what they do with their profession. So I really appreciate all those words. Now, what are a few of the supplements that you particularly like, and, maybe how it relates to athletes, and their performance recovery?
Yeah, man, I'll go through mine. So obviously I'm a coach. So what my day looks like, wake up super early in between the hours of 4 and 5, typically. First thing I put in my body, I come downstairs and I'm hitting pine needle extract, the full spectrum hemp oil, and DHA oil. That is boom, right there in the morning. That's how I start my morning. Go in and have a little mind time, and then I work out. My post-workout is going to involve some kind of smoothie. I predominantly do fruit before 11. From 7 to 11 is where your body's at the highest detox level, and that fruit is going to allow you to help with the detox of the body. And then in my post-workout shake, I'm putting pine pollen in there. I actually get an acute energy spike from the pine pollen. I know how much it does for the body, especially for men as well too. And then, I'll have my Ascent coffee. I'll have my nootropic focus, and I'm coaching, man. I'm rolling. And so what that does is in the early morning, I address all those things, and it primes my body to produce as much energy as possible. We said in part 1 of our interview, you have that correlation, right? We want to be more energy and less matter. When you are at more energy, you're functioning at a higher vibration. You're operating out of love. You're operating out of peace, out of joy. Those are the things that you want. And you can find that first and foremost. Yes, it starts in the mind, but you can find the assistance in these supplements, and you got to do it early in the morning. And so that's really what I use. I definitely push DHA oil for the athletes. That conductor there, and I'm sure you'll probably touch on that, but it's an energy conductor, man. It's bringing your nervous system is your cables. That's your railroad to your muscles. And if those tracks aren't smooth, those muscles aren't going to fire right. And so that DHA oil, it lubricates those tracks. It lubricates so that railroad and that train can go smooth into that muscle, AKA the electricity. And so, yeah, man, I hit that DHA oil again before I go to bed. And so, that's how I roll my day.
That's really awesome, Cory. Thank you. And, you can explain the DHA very well. It's conducting electricity in the body, and it's just making everything work better. The pine pollen, amazing stuff. I also feel acute, strong effects from it. Of course, the hemp and the newest product, the pine needle extract, really great for the respiratory system, lungs, breathing, cardiovascular system, so forth. Go ahead, Cory.
One thing I would add in, man, that for those who are, we're saying words here, Lance, that people are like, oh, that tastes awful. The pine needle extract is sweeter than any honey that you're ever going to eat in your life, man. I was kind of blown away. I was actually really surprised at how sweet it was. It's like a nature syrup, man. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. So just want to throw that out there before we continue this conversation.
Yeah, thank you, Cory. It really does. It's organic glycerin. Sure. Organic vegetable glycerin with the pine needle extract at a 1-to-4 ratio. So it's, a good strong one, but the glycerin helps cover up that sort of like harsh bitterness that would normally be there with the pine needles. Cory, so we're running out of time here, but I really appreciate you being here again. And, who you are as a person, first and foremost, is why we chose to partner with you. And, I know it goes both ways. But I really appreciate what you do for Ascent Nutrition to help get out the word, but also helping human beings to just be better people and, just push ourselves forward from a sports enhancement level, and then also from, just the basic human level.
Sure. Yeah, no doubt, man. No, thank you, Lance. And we just need to remind people that you can take as many supplements as you want, and you can perform however you want and all this type of stuff. But if you don't address yourself internally, from a mindset standpoint, then none of this matters. This is just an assistance piece to it. But in order for self-healing to start, it starts in the mind and in the heart. That has to be in coherence. And then you really maximize these supplements and maximize nutrition and live in an optimal state.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Cory Bell. I really appreciate it. Coach Cory, where can people find you online? And then for everyone also wanting to know, we will put the links below for the products in the description.
Yes. Yeah. Mainly I'm on Instagram, Coach_Cory Bell is where I post the most. I do have a Twitter. I'm not on there all the time, not as much as Instagram. That's also Coach_Cory Bell as well too. So find me on there. Be more than happy to speak to people on there.
Awesome. Thank you, Cory. I really appreciate it. Have a great day. Thank you everyone for listening. If you got questions, comments, put them down below and we'll definitely address them.
Awesome, man. Thank you, Lance.